feel like you are addicted to distraction? Is what you want is to have that cat-like focus where you can be completely focused on one thing for long periods of time until you accomplish it, and then 5 minutes later be lying completely bonelessly asleep. That's what I aspire to, and that's what I've learned how to accomplish. But there are 5 things that really get in the way of us having that focus that allows us to achieve what's most important, to really have the success and fulfill our potential. And the 5 things that get in people's way are, first, information overload, is that we have so much information coming at us every day, and it's hard to sift through it. And if you look at the research on neuroscience, it kind of shows that the more information that we get, the more confusing things get in our minds, and the more difficult it is to have that long focused period that we need to really take it to the next level. The second one is devices. So we have our phone, we have our tablet, we have our computer, we check Facebook first thing in the morning, and there are all of these things attempting to get our attention, and we're almost programmed to respond to them. Actually, we kind of are programmed to respond to them, and I'm going to talk about that a little bit more and how that happens in a little bit. The third one is tasks. Oftentimes we have a ton of tasks in our head. If you look, kind of imagine your head surrounded by all of these different tasks, and there are tasks for work, and there are tasks for your family, and there are the tasks that other people, your church, different people want you to do things. And oftentimes in our mind, they're not highly well organized. So tasks can be very distracting and take up a lot. Just having all of those tasks in our heads can take up a lot of space. The fourth one is unfinished business. Unfinished business takes up, it kind of lurks. It lurks in hidden corners of our brainosphere and makes it so that we have this sort of cloying sense of discomfort or anxiety that is, not everybody, some people, a lot of people have unfinished business that once they clear it out, it clears out space in their heads. And fifth is emotions. It's very easy. I noticed with my boyfriend, he gets cut off in traffic. And, maybe that person was rushing for the hospital, or maybe they didn't realize they were cutting him off. And he's sunk for the next 2 hours. These emotions can grab our focus, grab our attention, and take us on a ride like, a wild stallion in the Wild West, going off into the sunset, far away from actually what we're trying to focus on. So these are the kind of distractions that we have. We have external distractions and we have internal distractions. And what we want is we want clarity. We want focus. Focus that allows us to focus on what is most accomplished, what is most important. Focus that allows us to accomplish what is most important. So how do we get that focus? The first thing that's important is to create some new habits. And actually, let me take a step backward. Why do we not have that focus? So this is a really interesting question. A lot of, especially entrepreneurs, feel like they aren't getting done what they most want to get done. They don't have the focus they most desire, and then they feel bad about it. And there's another emotion taking them on a stallion ride in the Wild West. They get down on themselves. But if you really look at how we are raised in our society, you can actually see kind of the subtle patterns of how we are societally trained to have all of these factors. We are societally trained to take in information. And this is what we learn in school. We are societally trained to heed other people's call, to be attracted to devices. We're societally trained to have, all of these tasks and all of these agendas and hold them in our head. So it's not actually really your fault. And the first thing that I want to really help people with is don't get down on yourself. Realize that this is a really subtle thing that has been kind of implanted in you by our society, by our culture, in order to help control you and keep you in a box so that you will be a good worker in our society. That's why people are much more productive when they are in a structured environment. So that's my little rant, my little aside, and I go into that much more in the video on assigned authority. But let's talk about sort of these 5 external distractions and then the internal distractions. How do you work with them? So the first thing is to create a structure. And that's one of the things that we work on in our program, is create new habits. You have habits, you have ways of working now that are not working. So creating new habits can be a real struggle, and there are ways to do it that are simple and straightforward and very effective. And so that's what we teach you, is how to change your habits in order to have habits and structures that really support you in focusing on the right information, on looking at your devices when you choose to, on clarifying your tasks so that you're focusing on the tasks that have the highest lifetime value, on clearing that unfinished business so that your mind feels clear and focused, and also on working with and resolving emotions so that you don't get dragged by the stirrup into the sunset. So those are the things that we focus on, and that is how you regain control of your focus so that you can have that cat-like focus where you are completely focused, and also that extremely important ability to let go of the focus and lie in a sunbeam completely bonelessly relaxed. I'm Kat McDevitt, and I help people double their productivity and activate their success drivers. If you've enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, and share. Until next time, live your potential so you can be, do, and have what's most important.